Yeah.
Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to Ala's World of Finance. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I hope you enjoyed your Memorial Day, your holiday weekend there, but it's time to get back to business, guys. So let's talk about Intel and AMD. And the reason that I'm doing this video is because I was reading this article on Forbes.com and they were talking about how this huge leak came out where it's basically stating that Intel is working on this flagship desktop processor, and it's going to be called the Intel Core i9-7980XE, and it's going to have up to 18 cores, guys, and up to 36 threads, obviously. So that's pretty massive because the AMD Threadripper, the Ryzen Threadripper, that was previously announced to max out at 16 cores. So 18 cores, you know, that's going to be very competitive. It's going to be a little bit better. So when we look at the X299 platform and the Skylake X processors, we knew that Intel was going to come out with up to 12 cores, but now it's looking like they're going to have 14, 16, and up to 18 cores. So this is pretty massive, guys. Now the price, we don't really know the price yet, so we're going to have to wait for that. But I'm looking at summer for there to be some sort of announcement for them to come out with more details. And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, but Forbes sources were basically from, I think it was vdcards.com. I think that's where they had a lot of this information. That's kind of where the leak came from. But when looking at the previous flagship processor from Intel, it was the Core i7-6950X, and that one had up to 10 cores, and the one before that had 8 cores. So they made a jump of 2 cores, from 8 cores to 10 cores in a jump of a flagship, and now they're jumping to 18 cores. So they're almost doubling it here, guys. So from 8 to 10 and now to 18. So that's pretty crazy. So, you know, I don't know exactly what's going on here. You know, Intel is probably wanting to, you know, to compete with AMD now because AMD has had so much news and so much momentum with them. So Intel is kind of coming out really strong here, guys. Now, I don't know how long they've been developing this processor, but this is a big deal, guys. And, you know, they're kind of coming out saying, you know, we're not backing down, you know, we're coming out with a huge processor. Now, I'm an AMD stockholder, so I'm hoping that AMD can still be competitive here. So let's see if they can. Well, the Ryzen Threadripper is announced to have 10 cores, 12 cores, 14 cores, and up to 16 cores. So it's still going to be very competitive. It's still, you know, it's still going to be massive in its own right. But we don't know the price yet. So the big key factor here, I think, is going to be the price. If AMD can still come out with a competitive price to Intel, which they usually do, then AMD could still do very well. However, if Intel comes out and they price their processor competitive with AMD, which I don't think they will, but if they do, then that would be very bad for AMD. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think AMD is still going to be cheaper, and Ryzen reviews have been great. If Ryzen Threadripper comes out with good reviews, that's going to really help them as well. And if they're going to have a better price, so you know, there's a lot of factors that go into this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an update video a little bit later, and it's going to be I'm making a new series. It's going to be called Stock Battles, where I'm going to pit 2 stocks against each other, and I'm going to start with Intel and AMD because it seems like they're really fighting it out here. So if you guys are interested in that, leave a comment and let me know. But I'm basically going to start that series, and I'll be pitting 2 stocks that are in the same market going up against each other, and I'll basically go through everything positive, everything negative with those stocks, and ultimately decide which one may be a better investment. So if you like that idea, let me know. But now let's quickly just take a look at the numbers really quick before we end the video. Excuse me. So when looking at the past week, and by the way, these numbers may be a little different by the time you see this video, but last time I checked, last week, Intel was up 2.43%, AMD was down 3.59%. For the month, Intel was up 0.30%, AMD was down around 17%. And then the last 3 months, Intel down almost 0.75%, and then AMD down 22%. So AMD down a lot more. But year to date, Intel down 0.03, AMD down only 3%, and then for a total year, Intel was up almost 15%, and then AMD was up a massive 140%. So, you know, obviously AMD has been up a lot. Now, the 52-week low was at around $30 for Intel 3044, and then AMD was at $4.07. 52-week high, Intel was at $38.45, AMD was at $15.55. And then currently, last time I checked, Intel was at $36.23 and AMD was at $10.99. So AMD is obviously a lot cheaper. You could probably get a lot more shares, a lot more bang for your buck there. But is Intel a better option? We're not too sure, but they're definitely coming out with a bigger flagship there. So it's going to be very interesting to watch, and as soon as they have an announcement, I'll definitely be updating, but I'll also be making that stock battle video. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, leave them below, and if you're new, please subscribe, and if you want to support me, all you have to do is just drop a like. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful, beautiful day. Take care.